necessary for a person's life. I'm from Chicago, South Side. I was raised by my mom, single parent, actually a project called Lafayette Plaza. Big old white building. If you're from South Side Chicago, you know exactly where it's from. You know, I was raised in the 90s, so, you know, during that time frame, it's just as bad as now. You know, I don't know if it was even worse in the 90s than it is now, because it's more publicized. You know, during the 90s, I just remember, you know, just the gang violence. We couldn't wear earrings, you know, certain ears, different colors, you know. So it was kind of hard, you know. We had to go to school and come back home. My mom wasn't happy, you know, and she was making sure that we was being raised as good men. She was a real heavy influence in my life. She taught me about hustle and working hard for what you need and what you need to get, and being humble and having drive. At a young age, she used to buy us bags of peanuts, and we used to go to South Side over on Bongo Beach. It's around 55th, and we used to go out there, have this bag of peanuts, and we would sell them to people that would go visit the beach. You know, and that she was instilling like that entrepreneurial spirit. You know, during my young childhood years, we would do that, and she would show us the value of money. Her being a barber herself, she had to do that day in and day out. It was during the 90s, so they didn't have any social media, so she had to work hard for her clientele. And that led to her not being home a lot. So during high school, I went to Curie on Archer and Pulaski. You know, I did that to kind of get out of my neighborhood. You know, my nearest high school was Inglewood. A lot of my friends went there. And because, you know, in my early teens, around 13, 14, my mom saw that I was getting in trouble. I was starting to run the streets and get into long crowds. So she guided me to take up my passion in art. I mean, I was into art real heavy. However, you know, I had too many options on the table. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I guess it's a blessing. So I chose to go and get away to go to college. You know, my mom, she couldn't afford to put me through college at the time, so I decided to join the Army, which in itself was a challenge because we were raised kind of West Indian, Afrocentric, black family on the south side of Chicago. So my mom, naturally, she did not support the move to go into the military. And I joined in 2002, but it was a challenge that I could deal with. You know, I had a strong parent, my mom, you know, being single, and being in my corner. She lit a fire in us to make sure we became good men. You know, discipline was not an issue for us. You know, she had us doing push-ups already. She had us standing in the corner. I never had a problem with authority. I was a new supply sergeant. We were on a site, and it was just basically a secluded area. I was a supply sergeant. I worked out of a tent, and you know, during that deployment, we lost a few people. And, you know, one of them was a friend of mine, you know, that I could see in passing. And deployment and combat, you know, kind of led to me having a lot of anguish and contributed to anxiety and PTSD. You know, I've always liked things a certain way. One of those things is just, you know, I like getting my hair cut and getting a good quality haircut. So I like to do that for other people. I actually consider that therapy for me, and also something that I see as helping people. You know, you feel better about yourself. If you feel good, you look good. And so that's something I go by. And that's my current motivation. And that's why I do what I do, and I work a lot for my clients, which I consider like family. As a barber, I understand my position because I'm someone that is necessary for a person's life. Okay? You know, I have to see you either once a week, once every 6 months, depending on how frequently you come to see me. And we have to spend some time together, you know, somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour and a half, depending on what I'm doing. You know, after 2 or 3 times cutting their hair, they'll open up to me and they talk about what's going on in their lives. And if I can give any kind of experience or any kind of pointers or try to guide them through, I will, especially when it comes to soldiers and being in the military community. You know, if I can do something to make somebody better, you know what I'm saying? If I can be a network to somebody and a wide variety of people that, you know, are in different professions. So, you know, if I talk to a client and they have a legal issue and then I have a lawyer that I'm cutting and I have any kind of expertise on that, I will definitely, you know, pass that information along. And so really it's just, mentorship, you know what I'm saying? Being able to relate my experiences to my client. I try to give the best advice I can, and I give it from the perspective of what's best for the client. If they're married, single, divorced, it does not matter. I try to give them the best experience that they can, and not only with the advice that I give, but making them feel good about themselves when they get out of my chair.
Them bricks is way too high, you need to cut it. Your price is way too high.